So my name is Mary Carter Coleman, and today I will be catching a horse out of a pasture. This is Big, and I tried to stay an arm's length away. I tried walking at his shoulder. The lead rope is looped over on itself, not around my hand. This is Candy, and today I'll be grooming her. And over here we have the grooming supplies. We've got a soft brush, a body brush, a hoof pick, a plastic curry, and a rubber curry. The soft brush also comes in a stiff brush, but we're just using. And I'll start by picking her feet, because if your horse wears shoes, and they lose their shoes, it's easier to catch it early. Alright. Oh. Oh, it's okay. Alright, and to pick the foot, you lean against the shoulder. As she leans into me. Hold the foot at the cornet band where the fur meets the hoof, and pick between the grooves of the frog.
Same thing with the hind leg? Or is it different?
The same. It's the same thing with the hind legs. And if you want, it's easier on your back if you bend your knees. Good girl. I would start off with a curry comb, but because Candy wears a blanket and she's not caked in mud, I got off easy today, and I only had to use the soft brush. Brush using the soft brush. And if you're in a hurry, you just really want to go along the back and where the girth or cinch goes on the belly. To get the tack, we're going to start with the saddle and the pad. Candy is a Palomino, and she is a mare, and she gets a little bit moody. So she's very particular about her clothing. So we're going to use the zebra striped pad to keep her as, level-headed, as we can. So, and over here's her saddle.
What kind of saddle does she have?
She has a synthetic saddle.
Nice.
Alright, we're going to start with the pad, and as a general rule, you want to put it up a little bit further than it needs to go on the horse, because it's better to slide it with the grain of the hair than against it. It's kind of like petting a cat backwards. They just don't like it, So we're going to put it here, and you want the pad to make a direct line down the horse's leg. Next is the saddle. Oh. Alright, you've got to remember to pull up the pad so it doesn't pinch their withers under the saddle. And this is the front because it's got a little patch. This protects the saddle and the pad from the wear of the saddle. And you gotta make sure it's on straight and correct. On the other side of the horse, and we're gonna take the cinch off the saddle because we placed it there so it wouldn't flop against the horse's side and spook them. Right, now we're going to cinch up the girth. What we've got to do first is get the stirrup out of the way. And now we're going to reach under and get the girth.
Cinch.
Cinch. And Candy is a little bit used to little kids doing this as quickly as they can. So we're going to take it a little slow. Can we cut?
Mm-mm. Just go through it again. You're fine. Okay, what do you do now?
This is the last step, and we are going to go through it one more time, and we're going to cinch it a little bit tighter, and we're going to go over the through and down and pull it tight and take the stirrup down. Now that it's not completely tight, but that's okay for right now. It's secure, and that's all we need right now. We're going to get the bridle, and one of the things that Candy really likes to do is she goes swimming. That's why she's got a synthetic saddle, and that's why she has a wonderful blue nylon bridle. Start with Candy again, and we are going to demonstrate putting the bridle on. First you put the reins over her head, and then you unclip. Now you take the halter off, and you see I've got my hand over her nose, and that is a sign of dominance, and she also isn't able to go anywhere. I also have the reins over her neck, which if she were to get away from me, I would be able to grab her and stop her, and I still have full control. Good girl. Now, putting on the bridle, you hold the bit under her nose, under her mouth, and when she accepts the bit, you pull it up. What do we have going on here?
It's good.
Okay. And you put it over one ear, and then you put it over the other. And you want to make sure that her forelock is not trapped or tangled. And now, for the most part, it's on. Now we have the throat latch, and we don't want the throat latch too tight because we're not trying to cut off her air supply. We want to have a hand or 4 fingers under the throat latch as to not cut off the air supply. And now we're ready to go, and you take the reins over her head.
Do you lead it just like with the halter?
Yes, you lead it just like with the halter.
Okay.
Back with Candy, and we're preparing to get on. Now what we're going to do is come over here and check the cinch. And I need both hands, so I'm going to put the reins over my shoulder, or to my elbow. We're going to come over here, and we're going to cinch it up. And she's not complaining very much, so that's good. And with this excess, we're going to come over here and tidy it up a little bit. And this isn't hanging down too far, but you know, if it was all the way down here, we would take it and we would put it through here. It's a handy dandy keeper. And what?
We're good to go.
And we're good to go. And, now we are ready to mount. There's 2 ways to mount. There's ground mount or mounting block mount, but for this barn, they prefer us to mount their horses using the mounting block. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to make our turn fairly wide. And ho. We're going to put the reins back over her head. We're going to grab them with our left hand. We're going to step
Why are you grabbing the reins with your left hand?
so that she doesn't take off or, you know, run away with us. We're going to step up the mounting block and put our hand on the pommel, and we're going to put our foot in the stirrup and mount and gently sit on the horse. Do not plop on the horse because they are friends, and we don't want to hurt their backs. We don't like back sores, so we don't give them back sores. Here is a little bit wet, so we're going to ride in the arena today. On the way to the arena, we have a trail and field class that we're gonna
Trail obstacle.
trail obstacle course that we're gonna maneuver through. Are you still gonna video?
Yep.
Coming down over the railroad.
Now go through the pumpkin patch.
Oh, the pumpkin patch.
Yeah.
These are some rotten pumpkins. And now where? The bridge?
Yeah. Go for the water. You know, this grass isn't bad. You can trot up around here. Keep going into the schooling area. All right, come on back. Halt. Good. Now do that at a canter and come back and halt.
Alrighty.
Go ahead. Now halt.
Good girl.
Good, give her a little pat.
Good girl.
Just a little canter. Good, stay close. Now hold hard.
Huh?
Hold hard. Halt. Good girl.
The most important thing about dismounting a horse is to make sure that you take your feet out of the stirrups and rotating your hips to the left 90 degrees. And I'll explain why after I dismount. Alright, now I dismounted and I'm still standing. If I had dismounted this way, I could have fallen backwards. If I had lost my balance this way, I could just spread my feet and I'm still standing, still remaining in control.
Always keep a hold of those reins.
And you always want to keep a hold of the reins.
Good.
Hi, I'm back today and I realized that I didn't get the unpacking portion of the Western. So today I rode English and this is Artie. She's got a hackamore on and my camera person is eating a candy cane, so she's very keen on the candy cane. So this is a hackamore, bitless bridle. So I'm gonna put the reins over her head, always keeping control. Undo the throat latch. Oh, good girl. Good girl. And she's in her stall, so we don't really have to worry too much about her going anywhere. Good girl. I'm going to take the reins over her head, and we have a lead rope over here where I'm going to hook her up just to make it easier to untack. And good girl. Demonstrate how to take off this English saddle. We're going to look under here, and there's the billets for the girth. It would be a cinch on a Western saddle. And we're going to just undo it. Now we're on the other side of the saddle, and we're going to take the girth off of this side through the billets. And we're going to take it out of the keepers and put the girth over the saddle and gently lift it off the horse's back as to not jar her withers. After every ride, we take a brush to our horse and groom where the saddle went and where the girth was. And we didn't do much work today, so she doesn't have too much of a sweat mark or a girth mark. So. Alright, good girl. Now she's ready to go out. This is Artie, and we're taking her out for the evening. Come on, doggy.
You can just let her go.
Hey, Marco. Hey, Marco. Good boy. Oh my God. This is Marco. You caught us during feeding time, so we're turning all the horses out.
Just get him outside the door. We'll just